Hi everybody, and welcome to another Sims build. Today we're going to be building a couple's lakeside cabin retreat. The first thing I'm doing is I'm raising the terrain so that the house can sit on it, because I wanted the lake part, which you will see later, to be sunken in because water features, bodies of water are sunken in. I tried to stream this build on Twitch like 3 times, so I had to keep starting over, but Twitch just was not having it, so I know exactly what I wanted this house to look like, which is why this terrain manipulation here is going like very quickly. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I saw like a cabin sort of that almost looked like this on Pinterest, but I wanted it to be a little classier, a little bit more modern than just a regular wood cabin, if that makes sense, like a log cabin. This is a completely base game. No custom content is used, no expansion packs are used. I'm building a loft area here, which I will get some use out of later. You will see that. So the first thing that you should know if you're going to build something like this, or if you want to download this, is bb.show hidden objects and bb.show live edit objects need to be turned on. This is how you access the debug menu, and the debug menu is awesome because you can get free or very, very cheap rocks, like cheap build mode clone objects that exist in the world. Like, each of these rocks is like $4 or something, as opposed to like a $35 rock slab or whatever it is in game. There's also free fences, like this little brick fence thing that I used, and free plants, like I believe that is free. Also, I will say that anytime you see a pause in the video, because this is sped up, anytime you see a pause, it's because I'm either referencing the picture I'm looking at, or my cat jumped into my lap while I was recording this. So a lot of homes that I see on the gallery, a lot of lots that people upload, have zero landscaping. And I think that landscaping is a very, I think it's overlooked, especially by a lot of people who aren't competent in building, or people who are new to building. Landscaping is really going to make your lot look more unique. It's going to draw people in, as opposed to just seeing like a box of a house. Because even if you do have like a box for a house, putting plants and rocks or whatever you want around it and making it look like somebody actually lives there makes it automatically way more appealing. And that's just like curb appeal in real life. If you're driving down the street, so few houses have zero plants or landscaping in front of them, and when they do, it doesn't look just very taken care of. So keep that in mind. And honestly, there's no wrong way really to do landscaping. I'm not the best at it by any means. Clearly I'm getting very lazy with my landscaping. Some people are very, very meticulous, and good on them. I am not. So and again, debug menu has plants that will not drive up the value of your house or of your lot. So I also, let me say that the stairs that I just built and decorated around may not be functional, because there's things on either side of the edge, if that makes sense. But they're just decorative and they don't go anywhere, so no worries. And I've gotten a lot better about landscaping more of the lot rather than just like the front or the backyard of the house. I have tried more and more to test myself and push myself and challenge myself to build to landscape more than just right in front of the house or in front of the front door. So this is like a fake entrance to the water here, like if you were going to pull your truck up with your boat behind it and put the boat into the water. I probably should have added a gate there to make that look a little bit more realistic, but I didn't. But it's a fake entrance. Your Sims can still access this pool. Yeah, look at these cute little fence posts. You can find them in the debug menu. The other thing to know about the debug menu is that you cannot clone objects. You can't use the eyedropper tool on objects in the debug menu. So if you want to experiment with them or look around for objects that you want, like what I'm doing here is I am finding wooden planks for decorating the front entrance overhang, and I'm just putting a bunch of them just on the front porch so I can access them later because they can't be cloned. There's no organization to the debug menu, unfortunately, so you're just going to need to place a bunch of objects because they can't be cloned. I had some real problems with the spandrel thing. I think they're called spandrels here on this front porch. It really gave me some grief. I don't know why. Also, the base game doesn't give you any hanging plants, which I think is a crime. But you can find them in the debug menu, and they're free, I think. They're very, very cheap. So just make sure that when you're done with all your debug menu objects that you delete them. I think I forgot a fence post in the front yard because I went back to take pictures of this lot later and found like just a floating fence post. So make sure you look out for that. If you've got move objects, bb.move objects on, you can have a loft area. It is accessible, I believe. I've playtested lofts before, and if your sim cannot access the loft, you just need to raise the roof height a little bit. This should be totally usable and functional. This is a very small space. I designed it for just 2 people or 1 person. It's a couples retreat, so only don't try to move a big old household in here. So here's the kitchen. It's nice and simple, and you can see me mess with paint colors here. I've been challenging myself to build with the color blue more because I tend to avoid the color blue. I think it gets really overused, and maybe just when I was a kid, everybody's favorite color is blue. And so maybe I just got sick of blue. But, and I don't normally go for blue in kitchens. It's not an appetizing color. You will not see a ton of blue. You'll see, yellows and greens and reds in kitchens a lot because it's, those are, the colors of food. Like, the saying is that there's no blue food. So, I think, I'm just trying to use more blue in my build in general. But a blue kitchen is difficult, and I've done a couple of them since I've recorded this build. And so you'll see me do a few more of them as I keep publishing videos. So, like the title of the video says, this is base game. This is all base game. There's no custom content. I don't have any of the expansion packs, game packs, stuff packs, whatever. I don't have them because I'm really cheap. I am like the cheapest person that I know personally. And I know that not everybody can download custom content. Like, if you don't play on a PC, then you can't. So what I am trying to do here is just make the best product that I can with only the base game, just to show you what you can do. I feel like console players get left out of the custom content fun train there. And I do use a lot of custom content, especially when I'm just building things for myself, or, like my 70s house special builds that require custom content. But limitation breeds creativity. So having only the base game to work with really makes you, really forces you to expand what you think is possible through building a house or through, you know, just decorating a house. I will say that the curtains, though, and I think I complain about this in every single video, I hate the curtain choices in this game. Like, they don't fit any of the windows, and like sizing them up doesn't work. So thanks EA. This house should have everything that a sim or a couple needs, assuming this is like a little vacation house maybe, or if they live here full time. It has everything that they need to survive, and then some. I didn't include like a microwave or anything in the kitchen, but you know, you could add one if you wanted. There's not a ton of counter space, it's a very small kitchen, but you know, you could add things if you wanted. Yeah, if you wanted like a microwave in this kitchen, you could just remove some of the clutter. And honestly, to make this kitchen 100% functional, you might have to do that, just because you need at least one free counter block to prepare meals. The other thing that the debug menu is great for is decorating, because I get really sick of looking at the same 50 decorative objects in the base game. So the debug menu has, you know, like fossils and collectibles and things that you can find in the world for you to experiment with and to have. So decorate with them, put them on the shelf, they look great. So, the loft bed area is hard to see with the walls up. I managed to find like one camera angle that works. But if you're gonna play with this lot, you just click up until you see the roof and then hit walls down. That way you can see where the bed is and all the things up there. However, unless you play with that one camera angle the whole time, which I think is kind of ridiculous, you won't be able to see it. I tried to add a pond rather than a pool, because the pond looks more like a lake than a pool does. But it ended up glitching out the terrain because the pond wants to be placed at whatever the foundation level is, so it can't be any bigger, if that makes sense. So lesson learned, just use the pool, even though it doesn't look super realistic. We can all use our imaginations. It's The Sims after all, so. Yeah, there's the floating fence post I was talking about. And of course, the truck isn't functional, purely decorative. And then I just filled this little space up here with, you know, the most realistic decor that I can find. Like maybe this is where they do the laundry. I put postcards on the walls. Like, this is just very personal little space. And, you know, if your sim, I included an easel. If you do have, like, a sim who's an artist, you could put their paintings up here and really make the space their own. It's a very small space, so, keep that in mind. And the other thing is, and I just forgot this as well, that plant that's in the corner of the loft needs to be moved because it pokes through the roof. Be careful of taller objects. And I'm just finishing up the decorating here, and that's the finished product. So yeah, if you would like this lot, it is available on the gallery. Just search for Lakeside Cabin under Aileron Builds, and Again, no custom content, base game only. It's there for you if you want it, and just remember bb.moveObjects and all that has to be turned on. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and stay inside.